Well, welcome back with what is day one of what I want to call the Christmas Heatwave. Now, normally this is a term you would see out of people that are in the weather community in the Southern Hemisphere, like Australia, South Africa, Argentina, Brazil, just to name a few countries. Although Brazil is technically in the central, it's equator, as an equatorial country, so, but you get what I'm saying. Christmas heat wave. It hit a high of 73. Our averages this time of year is around 43. So yeah, 30 degrees above average, something like that. Now I know the technical term for a heat wave doesn't count until you have like a consecutive amount of days above 90, but in all honesty, obviously this is not how it works, but how it should work is it should be based off of the percentage above averages, above the averages. Like if we're pretty much pushing double the average temperature, yeah, that should be considered, that should be heat wave criteria automatically. And like based off of averages, obviously, like in Alaska, a full stretch in the 70s, in the Panhandle, Alaska, that triggers heat advisories. That's pushes heat. That's basically their version of heat wave. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. But that's why I say it should be based off of averages, because anything above 90 degrees consecutive, that's a heat wave. That means Arizona, majority of the year, is in a perpetual heat wave. Yeah. Like, there needs to be like a revision on what defines as a heat wave. But regardless, this is day one of what I'm calling the Christmas heat wave. Over the next few days, we'll be pushing into the mid 70s. Joplin may have a day or two hit 80. And that may or may not include Christmas itself. So that's what we're looking at. Warm weather. Very warm weather. So 80-degree heat, can't go wrong with that. Very warm weather like this, cannot go wrong with that. I'm not complaining, but I do have concerns. And no, not the usual climate change concerns. Like, no. It's also like people, like logic of, we gotta fight climate change. Why would I want to fight something that's giving us something so nice? Like, why would you want to fight the nice weather? I mean, obviously, too much sun for too long time, you get drought and all that, fires and all that problem. That's obvious. But you get what I'm saying. Part 2. Okay, maybe not part 2, but still, this will be combined in the same video. But my main concerns is what this means for the rest of winter and what would be the following tornado season. Because yeah, the tornado season's a big deal here, as it actually does stuff here. Especially a little bit that direction, because that direction is Joplin. But point is, like, what does this mean for tornado season? What does this mean for spring? What does this, which is honestly the same season around here, what does this mean for summer or the following hurricane season? What can we expect? But also people being like, oh, this is a nice weather, why would he fight it? And then want to fight it, and then they're just going to continue to do what they're doing to get more of this kind of weather, if they know that they're the reasons why this kind of weather is happening more frequently. So that's a whole nother deal. So people get spoiled and then want to continue the spoiling, you know. Snow lovers definitely not going to like this, but I'm not a snow lover, so I don't care. So, I mean, I'll take thunder snow, but clueless, not going to happen anytime soon. But basically the only thing that's stopping this week from feeling like April is the fact that it's supposed to be sunny the entire time. We're not looking at severe weather, not looking at tornadoes or anything like that. Although, considering we do have storms coming in on 2nd, 3rd-ish of, like, basically New Year's Day, the day after. We got potential for storms. I am keeping an eye on that for if it holds. See if it tries to pull some severe, because after Saturday we do dip into the 40s, lows in the teens, 20s, highs in the 40s and 30s. The New Year's hits, and we're back up into the upper 50s, low 60s. And we have storms coming in there in that time frame. Will that produce severe weather here or a little bit further south? And considering I have the Ford version of the Tornado fucking Wrangler, okay, might do a little chasing. So, yeah. I mean, clearly, I have the Ford version of the Tornado Wrangler. For those who don't understand, it's a... Yeah, the Tornado Wrangler truck is a red crew cab dually. This is a red crew cab dually. So. Only difference is... one I used is a Dodge Ram 3500, and I was like 5 years younger than my truck. And my truck's a F350 V10 dually. It's a 99, same age as me. But you remember I was talking about that in that stream yesterday, the car that had the Galaxy wrap? That was that car that just drove by. I was in Joplin yesterday. They're up here. Okay, that's just random. That's just random logic. But still, warm weather. Things are gonna be interesting. Will I be able to debut this truck as a Ford version of Tornado Wrangler come New Year's? I don't know anymore. This weather's just weird. So we'll see what happens. Stay safe out there. See you in the next video. Bye.